the main thing from start to finish, I've never attacked her mother.
Right.
I've never attacked her publicly, privately, or anywhere.
That's good.
This is a woman that she could.
You helping us? Come on.
You could tell the courts that I beat this child and did all these things, heinous things to this child, but you could never tell the courts I ever said anything derogatory to you.
There's nothing wrong with having trauma. We all do. You just need to do something about it. Come on, unpack the trauma with it.
We've all been young. We don't listen. We're going to do what we're going to do, but at least give them the format.
Can't say you didn't know.
Can't say you didn't know. Yeah, yeah.
Gave you the map. You still got lost, but you did that on your own.
Right. And Randy, I know you just recently went through severe custody battle. Can you give us an outcome on that if you don't mind, if you want to,
Well,
if you're comfortable?
Here's the thing. We were kind of talking about how do you put it back together.
Yes.
As far as my daughter goes, like Marie said, it's just a day at a time. I think a lot of it comes down to just taking yourself out of the equation to a degree when it comes to the child. And when my daughter was first born, up until all this stuff happened, everything was great because she was totally, she was under my care. But then to have her go somewhere else and be up under care, a mother's boyfriend, different things like that, and to going, oh, I don't want you to be my dad, I want him to be my dad, to now going back, Dad, I apologize for saying that to you. I didn't mean that. And I told her, I know you didn't mean it. That's why I didn't leave you.
That's good.
You see? But the biggest thing for me is that in regards to custody, stay engaged.
Okay.
Learn as much as you can. Talk to people as much as you can. I went through 4 different attorneys, okay? Because, when you have attorneys, they have a job to do. And they told me, well, we run a business.
Right.
No problem.
And what that supposed to mean? They run a business.
Well, they run a business, meaning that unless you have money to pay me, I can't help you.
Wow.
But the thing of it is that, okay, well, I paid you this far and you still didn't do nothing.
Right.
You didn't do what you said you would do. And of course, they have no guarantees.
Right.
But in my case, and I'll say this and kind of backtrack. Let me go forward.
Go ahead.
Okay, at this point, I have full, sole, legal, and physical custody of my daughter.
That's good. Wow.
That rarely happens.
That is unusual.
Yes, for a
that
male.
is very unusual.
And a black male.
But it happened.
It's true.
It happened because I took notes.
Yeah.
It happened because I paid attention. It happened because I wouldn't quit. See, when I said I stepped back and I was willing to walk away for 10, see you when you're 18. But the only thing I wanted was for the court system to get the facts before you made your final decision.
Right.
And that was the hard part because 3 different attorneys, I can't get you guys to tell my story any kind of way. It wasn't until I got my 4th attorney. And really, he didn't have to do anything, but I just didn't want to go in there by myself. I don't believe in that because anyone, they'll tell you if you represent yourself, you're
toast.
Right. But the thing of it is, I was blessed. I was fortunate. But the main thing from start to finish, I've never attacked her mother.
Right.
I've never attacked her publicly, privately, or anywhere.
That's good.
This is a woman that she could.
You helping us? Come on.
You could tell the courts that I beat this child and did all these things, heinous things to this child, but you could never tell the courts I ever said anything derogatory to you. And I mean verbally. Right. Never. So if I haven't said in verbal, I haven't put my hands on you, never did anything to you, but try to raise this child and give her the best opportunity. It's not her fault. But the hard part about it is that a confused child is something that when they talk about a village, you have to have that. Because in my case, when she's looking for other people to be her dad, and I've been her dad from birth, that's a problem.
Right.
Number two is that for a child who doesn't know to have to process, and you're hearing all type of negativity, okay? And the thing of it is, a parent doesn't, some parents don't understand. A child hangs on your word like it's the Bible.
Yeah.
They hang on your word. And for me, I had to back up. Now, mind you, had things not gone the way they went, I was done. Because I let them know up front, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm done with that part of it. Because the stress, sleeping 3 hours a day, is too much. Paying, I got to pay this attorney before I pay my mortgage. Because he or she is not going to walk in that courtroom until they get that check.
Right.
You see? So to be able to, I'm blessed that God put me in a position to be able to defend myself financially, because I know many people don't have that resource. But believe me when I tell you, there are places that you can get your help for it. But the one thing I will say, in the custody, because I never wanted to, and I still don't. My intention is to never remove my daughter from her mother's life.
Right.
Never that. Okay. But what I do is tell my daughter, your mother just has some things she has to deal with right now. But it's not your fault. It's never your fault. And it never will be your fault. Okay? Because what she doesn't understand is it started 10 months before she got here. See, that's where it started. See, but at the end of the day, she also has to know that respect is the number one law of the land. Like I told my daughter, sweetie, I love you. Okay? But I'm not asking you to love me. You just got to respect me. Because until you do that, love ain't gonna make any difference. See? So that's where it is. So I don't require, baby, because every day, 2 or 3 times a day, Dad, I love you, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, I love you, sweetheart. Okay, Dad. She asked me, why did you tell me that? Knowing what I did to you. I told her, look, you didn't do anything. You don't have enough knowledge to do what you did. Okay? You just don't know that yet. See? And that's it.
Whew, man, this is good, man. We're getting this is so good, man. Yeah, I got caught up in your story. I had to block a tear. I almost feel like I think about, that's how Jesus loved us. Why you love me? I've been messing up. You keep giving me these chances. Yeah, he said, yeah. And so I appreciate your transparency, all you guys. So I want to get all you guys to get final thoughts and thank you again from the bottom of my heart. You're going to bless so many people.
Thank you, Dr. K.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Man, I just appreciate you driving out from San Diego. Appreciate Maurice. He's in San Francisco on vacation, tuning in. And my good brother Mike could have been at work today. He's here in Antelope Valley. And of course, me and my co-host here, we just really appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
This was about, man. I mean, man, I don't want to I'm holding my final thoughts. Mike, what are your final thoughts?
Fault. A lot of things are not going to be your fault. But God made you and built you to take it. And, I wish I could have been more forgiving in the situation because I've wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
And that's one thing you can't get back. That's where your money is, your time.
Yeah.
You can't get back. You can move forward. You can make amends, but I live with that regret.
Yeah.
And I try to make my situation better now.
Exactly.
God has provided me with everything that I ever wanted. Laid it right in front of me. wiped out my child support. I still to this day, when I say I was in the rears, I was in a $300,000 hole. And people are like, why don't you get a job? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And I'm like, long story. You want to hear it? But I would never tell the story. I would just continue to hustle and move on and do what I had to do.
Right.
And,
Right.
One day I went and just applied for a job, and guess what? It was no rears, no anything. It's like God made somebody hit a reset button.
Mm-hmm.
And
Amen.
I probably could have had that done long ago, but because of my pride and what I wasn't gonna do, see, that's the thing. I would tell the situation what I wasn't gonna do. They're not gonna make me do this.
Right.
I remember one time I had a community service, and see, when you have to do community service, if you miss one day, you got to start it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pay. That's how they keep you in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Because either you're gonna go to jail or you're gonna do this service, or you're gonna pay to stay out.
Right.
And I was telling the judge, I said, I don't have the money to keep paying this. If you're late, you got to start all over. So I said, hey, sir, I said, I don't get in trouble like this. I said, I've already been accused of something that I didn't do. So guess what? You'll never see me again. And for 13 years, they didn't see me. I've never had a traffic ticket. But guess what? God will make you do the things that you say you're not gonna do. See, the thing is, you already destined a road, and you can move around it. You can veer away from it. You can take a cab someplace else. Gotta take you from where you at and put you all the way back to the starting point to where you were, because it's some kind of message, it's some kind of knowledge, it's some kind of, he's building something in you that maybe that it's not matured in you. Don't what I would like to, don't run from a situation, even if it turns out bad. Go through it. Just even if it hurts, even if you lose, it's a lesson in losses. You know, and as a young man, I never wanted to. I'm not a sore loser. I'm a gracious loser, but I don't like to. I'm very competitive. I like to win. You know, but I tip my hat to those who beat me.
Right.
Sometimes you're gonna have to go through a loss to get to the win. And
So true.
later on in life, you know, I've won in a lot of things, but I'm winning now with my relationship now. I'm winning now with the wife he's chosen.
I'm winning now. I like that.
Yeah, sometimes you think you lost out, but God is my nieces and nephews. Sometimes he'll put things in your life for you to substitute, for you to take care of, that it's not necessarily getting the love that they need, that you've already missed out on. And so you think you're missing out on something. And it just hit me now. I think I'm missing out, but actually I've gained access to everything that I've ever lost, everything that I've ever thought that was taken away from me. I have it, but you have to be open to see it. You have to forgive yourself.
Yes.
And see, once I forgave myself and humbled myself, forgiveness and humbleness, and that's when I began to live again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Before your thoughts, Randy.
Dr. K, I think
And thank you again for being here too.
no
Man,
worries. It's thank the co-host here, Rodney.
Yeah.
The thing of it is, for me, my final thoughts to everybody, men and women, no matter what the circumstances, how the child came about, you know, you still have a responsibility. And I think that if you go into it, you know, the dealing with the child, I mean, if you're going to dealing with the child with the best foot forward, I think that the child would do well. I think in my case, I don't know when and if I'll talk to my daughter's mother, because pretty much from the time I've met her, it's been communication. Well, put it like this, definitely since my daughter's been born. 95% of our communication is text message or email. And I did that intention. you know.
For records.
Well, what happens is, you know, I'm almost 50 years older than my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a lot of pictures of her, of us, you know, going on vacations, all those things, because I always admired kids. When you look at some of these athletes and stuff, and they got home videos from back in the day, you know, black and white videos, it always intrigued me because it's almost like a video, I mean, a visual historical piece.
Right.
And I always wanted her to have that. But I think that, you know, if for me personally, I had to learn this one thing, that I am a vessel. My daughter's God's child. Okay. So I don't got all the answers. So when it's out of my pay grade, I pass it on up because God gave me some things that I understand. God has also given me things that I don't understand. Okay. So I think that realistically, in order to be a good parent, you have to want to be a parent.
Amen.
You see? And I always wanted to be a parent. See, I wanted 10 kids. That's where I come from. Big families. Didn't happen that way. But the reality of it is this. I want to be able to give my daughter the example of a mature adult with responsibility, discipline, and I want to give her all the tools she needs to be who she is supposed to be. You see? Because I don't know that yet. We don't know that till the kids get older and they start developing. So for me, what I would say, and especially since my outcome was as it was, that I have to give that credit to God, number one, but also having the drive to want to know. Because see, the one thing that hurts us in a lot of these custody battles, we don't know the law.
Yeah.
Correct.
See? And a lot of people will tell you what you don't know will hurt you, but that's a lie, because everything you don't know will hurt you at some point in time. And I feel for me personally, because I was engaged from the beginning, see, I was blessed to be in a position where I didn't have to answer to anybody as far as a job when my daughter came. I was totally independent, self-sufficient, all of that. So now having to, like he said, you're given everything. My child, my daughter's a gift. But then I had to deal with, like they say, God is real. But then the devil had to jump in. Okay. So then I had to go from being stable to being imbalanced a little bit, you know, and thank God I have a loving and caring wife who's been there she's been there almost from the gate. She's been with my daughter since she's been a year old. Okay. So the thing of it is, and they have a great relationship. That's good. But the thing of it is that I had to make sacrifices because, you know, being single until I was 31, staying married for 5 years, then getting married again at 48, 18, almost 18 years later, something like that. So it would have been easy for me to just stay single and live my life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. No problem. But the reality of it is that even though as a father with no child, it would have been a lot easier. That's men can do that, I guess. But the reality for me is that I didn't want my child to see the instability. I wanted to give her something because she has a future. Yeah. And if she's going to develop and be a good wife and whatnot, she has to see good role models. She has to see what a man is, you know, and she has to see what kind of man. Because see, it's like this. For me, I can determine two things: what kind of man my daughter will have, or what kind of man she won't have. Okay, so my focus is trying to give her something that she can take, like legacy, tradition. You know, we have children. You know, we want our kids. We give them something. We look at you because you're looking at your parents. You know, and you're gonna learn either what to do or what not to do. That's true. Yeah. You see, so it's still a lesson. It's always, no matter how bad it is, even with what I've gone through, I've learned a lesson. You see, and I can advocate because now I know. See, I used to hear for years, man, oh man, the court system is this, the court system is that. But like yourself, Dr. K, I wouldn't know that. How would I know that? I'm hearing all these horror stories, but when it's all said and done, now I'm in the horror story.
And there's something.
And the only thing I want to do now is figure out a way to alleviate, not and be an advocate for fathers not to downgrade women or mothers, but we need the it's like we're being represented or being spoken about without even being there.
Right.
Okay. So we have to step up and show that example. And hopefully, I pray in my case that my daughter can settle down, get back to being who she needs to be, and not for me, but for her, and also give, in time, I don't know what will happen with her mother, because like I said, just not to get into the criminal aspect of my case, but the custodial aspect, I'm done. Okay. The criminal, I'm not, because unfortunately, with the law, if you have certain allegations, even though they're found not true,
Not founded, yeah,
they still keep a case on you
Wow.
for 1 to 3 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
And see, that's the thing.
All right.
The law, you got to know that law, because that's the only way you can protect your children is to know the law. Right. And with that being said, thank you for having me, Dr. K.
No, man, this is so
Rodney.
good. And Rodney, co-host Rodney Johnson, who came with this idea for this segment, and he reached out to you, and then I reached out to Maurice and Mike, and so I appreciate that. Rodney, I think this is a great discussion, helping men that go through this type of thing. So, Rodney, what are your final thoughts for it?
I learned a lot. I mean, you all sharing, Maurice, it was really good. And I know with my children, one thing, always respect and love your parents. Because my thing was, eventually, you're going to learn them for yourself. You're going to have your own relationship with them. And if they stay the same, you'll discover the same thing I did, right? And so that was the thing, on that. And some things I was vocal about and I had to be strategic about. But I learned and I admire a lot of things that I heard today, how y'all handle it. Man, it's like, man, that was beautiful, And I know this topic is so heavy. And I kind of want to do a part 2 on this, because it kind of got touched on a little bit earlier. How we feel as men to be basically, you're only good for something, not just being who you are, not just for being dad. And I don't have this situation. Well, from the majority of my children, but I do have a daughter that I feel that way, and I want to have a relationship with her, but I'm only good for one thing, and the quote a comedian, and some of you might know who I'm talking about, they said only 3 people are loved unconditionally. That's women, children, and dogs.
Yeah.
And that's, it feels very much like that too many times. And I've been blessed with my children. And even my exes, we have good relationship. We can talk because we all mature, right? We mature and have that dialogue. I've had those conversations with my children as they got older, as they mature and see things differently. I got married originally at 19. Wow. And then when my girls hit over that, it's like, y'all was just kids. Yeah, there we go.
Right.
See, but you couldn't see that at 8 and 7. Like, but when they got older, said, man, y'all was just kids. I said, yeah. So we are still learning. We're still trying to enjoy life ourselves, be a kid. We young teen, but now we got a kid, And by that situation going on, my parents did a lot, and I love them for that. They love all their grandchildren. But I missed out on a lot of stuff, because I didn't have the finances, the means to do like my parents in their position. So I'm at work and the kids going to the beach and they went here and they got older, and we were talking one day and I said, yeah, I would have loved to see y'all expression, when you did this first thing, that thing, but I had to work, but I had my parents, they were there for them. And we talked about different things like amusement parks and stuff. And we were talking, I said, yeah, like Universal Studios. And they said, we never been to Universal Studios. I said, y'all never been to Universal Studios?
Right.
I'm not coming in tomorrow. I'm not feeling well. Oh, I did that immediately. I said, oh, I'm taking you.
For the first time. I'm on this one.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
I said, oh my goodness. I called in. I'm not at that job no more. As I can say, I called in sick, and we went straight to university those next day. I was so excited, and I knew where to sit him on the tram. I said, no, you sit right there, because I knew the shark was coming. Right, sitting right in the middle of the car. I knew right where to put him. And to get that expression when that shark come out that water, I was like, I want to see that. I enjoyed that. And so I know what you mean. Sometimes you feel robbed about some things, and you can't go back and get it back, you know.
But God provides the opportunity. You know, you might not get all of it back, but you can get glimpses.
You can, some first.
Some first.
Get some first.
But this is so good. I mean, were you done?
Yes. This has been great. I learned a lot.
Yes.
I really did. And I know anybody that's listening to this, men and women alike, and the ladies, you get an opportunity to hear the other side actually talked about and how we feel about some of the things, and men that's watching it, you're not alone. And we understand, and you need the outlet to talk about it. So I know this is really helping. I know it is.
I like what you said, that I just touched my heart, and you know, you shared that I could finally do something first with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you don't, you know, you said you robbed that, and you know, they're not in the house, and you got to hear that somebody else teach you how to ride a bike, or they saw that. Man, I wanted that. Especially your first kid. I know I was selfish. I didn't want to buy the whole little case and nothing. That's my dude. You know, I'm first everything.
That's it.
I'm first cutting his hair. I'm first feeding him. I'm first. You know, because because say it again.
It's a pride.
It's a pride, and I didn't get that growing up. You know, my dad, he snatched from me.
Right.
But my mom also, what you guys say, I can tell you the truth, she never ran my dad down, and she could have.
Oh yeah.
And when you get older, you're gonna put the interpretation together.
Right, you put it together.
My final thoughts is again, I'm so grateful, humble that you guys are here, because you helping a lot of men. You know, I know Randy got some resources. I wish we could maybe we could send it out, maybe put some at the end or something, some attorneys that you use. I didn't know you had 4. So then I'm here and I'm sitting next to Mike, and then I'm trying to reach over to hug my brother. You know, the pain that men go through, and I can't share. I know people I deal with now in my practice, but I can't, go detail with my clients. But men go through this, and they last for a year, and they like just some men I just tap out. Well, I heard a patient say, "I'm just gonna tap out, Case. Dr. Case, I'm going. I'm gonna go to another guy. I can't. I don't have no more money. I don't have nothing else. And so
resources,
resources gone. And so it's not. So what I learned from this too, man. Final thoughts. We got men. These are solid brothers here, and the one that called in. And these are real men, have real issues, and the pain they go through. So if the men are watching, I hope it's resonating with you that you're not alone. So don't feel bad. This happens. This is part of the stages of it. But what I also take from this, I see a rainbow at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
You guys showed me how it's got to hang in there. Look at Marie said it was toxic a little bit in the beginning. They made all false accusations, but now they got a good relationship. I know Rodney has good relationships, and I know, and you're at the beginning stage of yours. My heart gonna go, man. Yeah. So, man, I want to share so much, but you guys already talked about it. Just my heart go out to you guys, man.
Yeah.
And so this is what I think is about helping men unpack their trauma.
Yeah.
So you're not alone. Right now, we just realized. Now I know if I call Randy, hey Randy, how you doing? You good?
Yeah.
Because you're not by yourself. You just don't have writing. Then I say, hey Mike, you good?
Right.
Yeah. Have you seen your daughters?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You need anything? Yeah, so we check in with each other now, and I think that's what men don't do.
Yeah,
right. We only show when we doing good. We got the new car, we got some money, got a new job. We don't really talk about our vulnerable stuff, and so it's good to see us being vulnerable today. So I appreciate you guys really from the bottom of my heart, man, because it's gonna have thousands of.
I know it is.
Oh my goodness!
I know it is.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Yes, you want to say something?
No, I was gonna say thank you for giving me my turn to talk.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
My turn to talk.
I'm telling you, man, we go ahead.
Thanks for meeting this brother here, man.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Good brother. Good. Well, again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of My Turn to Talk. Another guy you don't see not on screen, my brother-in-law, Stephen Johnson. He's our video person doing all kinds of stuff.
Engineer.
Yeah, he's been such a blessing. It's just amazing. I noticed with God, too, because everyone just been on board. Yeah, but so a lot of the commercial that the Stephen Johnson. So if you need him, look out for Stephen Johnson. My lyrics, he can get you going. So again, thank you again for tuning in. Check us out, man. We just begun. Yes. Man, maybe we get a TV show one day. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's coming. Huh? It's coming. Well, God bless y'all. Thank you again for tuning in.
It's my turn to talk.
My turn to talk. Peace.